Good morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo First here. I'm temporarily substituting for Rabbi Ruben Levitt, who's taking care of some important business for Yeshiva. And we're learning here in our third share in the morning, Nefesh HaChaim, HaChaim Belodin. We move up over the Gomes, safer on the significance of our obligations in this world and how they also affect the spiritual worlds as well. We're in the first shar, and the second part. However, we'll see if we can get a running start. Now we'll go back.
Lavin, to understand Inyan, the subject, Amro, they said, B'Tselem Elokim, the image of God. Daika?
Daika, specifically.
Daika, specifically. V'lo Shem Acher, and not another name. In other words, the use of the name Elokim is very significant.
Yes, exactly.
Ki Shem Elokim, because the name Elokim, Yadua Perusho, is known in his explanation.
Right, the known, meaning the Shem Elokim, its known explanation, meaning the widely accepted explanation of the Shem, referring to God's word, by the Shem of Elokim, is as follows.
Shehu Moreh, Shehu Yitbarach, that he is a teacher?
No, Shehu, it indicates, here this is it.
Shehu, it teaches us.
Yeah, it teaches us. Right?
It indicates that he, blessed is his name, is the master HaKodesh Kulam, of all of, of all of the powers.
All powers, right.
Kemo she'mevo'ar, like that, mevo'ar.
Let's explain.
It's explained in the tour, Arech Chaim Siman Hey. So he is the master of all powers as is explained.
Good.
The Inyan and the subject, Ma Shehu Yitbarach, what that he may be blessed, Mikra is called Baal HaKochos. And now let's talk about what does it mean to say he's the master of powers. Ki lo ke midas basar v'dam. It's not like the characteristics of human beings.
So in order to explain this concept that we have, that HaKodesh Baruch Hu, especially with the name of Elokim, is indicating to us that Shem is the Baal HaKodesh, he's the master of all powers. Right? All powers have their existence stemming from HaKodesh Baruch Hu, right? That's not at all anything like Basar V'Dam. They don't apply such a concept to Basar V'Dam.
Midas HaKodesh Baruch Hu, the characteristics of God, Ki Ha'adam, when a man, Sheboneh Binyan, that he builds a building, Derech Mashal Me'etz, by way of an analogy from wood.
Right. So he's going to set up an analogy based on a person who's building a structure from wood.
Ein haboneh borei u mamtzi az mikocho ha'etz. He doesn't create, he doesn't build. Hey!
Shalom.
Good morning.
Okay, now that you're here, hey, did you get your Australian passport?
Gonna collect it still.
What do you have to collect? I mean, what? They didn't approve your citizenship?
You went all the way to.
It's all been approved, and now it's got to be done. They've got
that's
to make
good.
one.
You went all the way to Tel Aviv and they didn't give it to you yet?
But
You gotta go back to Tel Aviv?
fortunately, one of our children goes to Tel Aviv once a week for business, so he'll collect it. He's been there before a few times. So he'll get it for us. He's quite happy to do that.
It went smoothly?
Otherwise it went okay.
Very good. Good to see you. Very happy. We're doing a little review here in the second parak.
Yeah, we already read this, so
We can.
I'm actually able to understand it.
Well, just as well I'm here, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's very good for you.
So when a person builds, he doesn't create.
Like bring forth. He doesn't interpret. It's not bring forth.
Bring forth from the power of the wood.
I mean, the wood itself is not given there's no power in the wood that the person is using in order to create the structure he's building from the wood.
Right, and he's not creating the wood.
Right.
He's just taking the wood and using it.
Exactly.
Rak shelokeach eitzim shekavar niv ra'u. He only is taking wood that's already been created. Umisadram bevinyan. And he's organizing it into a building.
Right. That's basically all he's doing. He's just making a collection of wood that was previously created, and he is simply now arranging it into a structure.
Achar, and afterwards, shekavar, that afterwards, sid ram, lifi ritzono. He organizes it according to his desire. Why does it say va'achar shekavar? Isn't that the same? Isn't that redundant?
Well, yeah, it's sort of. But after it was already, meaning after it was already arranged according to his desire.
Oh, after it was already. Got it. Okay. Im shekocho, if his power, husar, is lacking.
Or would be taken away. Let's say his.
If his power is removed.
Meaning the person during the course of the building is putting his energies into the building.
Right.
But afterwards, the building now is erected. If he's now going to remove husar b'mistalik,
husar mayhem. So if his power is removed from the building. Im kol zeh, with all this, habinyan kayam, the building is going to stay there. Yeah. Nothing's going to change because he left and now he's doing something else.
Right, very good.
Aval, but who, he, Yisbarach Shemo, blessed is his name, Kemo be'etz, it's like the wood.
No, Kemo be'etz, at the time.
Oh, like at the time, B'ri'as, of the creating ha'olamos, of the universe, kulam, all of it. B'ra'am, v'him tzi'am, he created and he found, or brought forth.
Right.
Brought forth, who, he did, Yisbarach, he who is blessed, Yesh me'ayin, something from nothing. So when Hashem created the universe, he created it by making something from nothing, by bringing things into existence.
Right. So that's and not only that, that's only the first stage. The first stage was that it wasn't simply the creation of the world like a person creating a structure where he's making basically a collection of pre-existing building materials. The universe, the whole existence that we are familiar with, that was brought into existence freshly new, completely yesh mi'ayin, something from nothing, which didn't previously existed.
Yechocho, with his power, ha-bilti tachlis, ha-bilti, I don't know what that is.
The koicho bilti tachlis, tachlis is like end, meaning bilti without. The koicho with his koichach that is without end.
Without end.
Or infinite. Yeah. HaKodesh Baruch Hu is koich right, is unbounded. Right? It's unbounded, it's without end.
Kain me'az, therefore from here, kol yom, every day, v'chol rega, and every instant, mamash, actually, kol koach, all of the power, mitzi usam, is bringing forth, the seed ram, and organizing the kiyumam, and establishing talui, a dependence, rak, only bima, with what shehu yisbarach shemo, that he, blessed is his name, mashpia, influences bahem, them. So all of his power brings forth, organizes, and establishes what is dependent only on him.
Right.
It was dependent and affected and influenced only by him.
Correct.
B'ritzono, according to his will. Yisbarach, may he be blessed. Kol rega, every instant. So everything is only according to what he wants, its existence and its influence every instant.
Very good.
Koach, his strength, his power, u shif'al, or chadash, v'shif'al, and it affects a new light.
It's
Poal is to affect.
to effect, right?
To affect. So his koach affects a new light, Ve'ilu haya, and it's as if it was who yisbarach, that he may be blessed, misalkan mehem, salak.
To remove
Misalek, removes from them koach, his power, ha'aso, his influence, af, even rega, for an instant, achas, even for one instant, if you remove his power even for one instant, kerega, like an instant, hayu kulam, it would be all of them, the efes v'tohu, like void and nothingness.
Right. They would all, even if we could just for one moment, right, without the influence and the power of the HaKodesh Baruch Hu, if that would be lacking even for a moment, kulam le'efes, everything would be le'efes, nothingness v'tohu, and as void. Okay. So that is the difference between a person and the Rebbeinu Lahagah. So don't forget, we are on our way in terms of understanding when the phrase was used in the Torah, Tselem Elokim, the Lashon Elokim, that shame of HaKodesh Baruch Hu was specifically designated to the creation of man, that we should have some type of association with that aspect of HaKodesh Baruch Hu. So what do we see from now at this point? Apparently, that the fact that a person is created B'Tselem Elokim, that his influence, in whatever realm of influence HaKodesh Baruch Hu allows us to affect, is in some way similar to HaKodesh Baruch Hu's general absolute influence on the whole of the universe, which is meaning that it's not simply a creation of something which has previously existed and simply allowing something to exist in a maybe even a different form, but it's a whole new, complete, absolute form which is dependent upon the continual influx of the HaKodesh Baruch Hu's desire that it exists, and giving it power, in fact, to exist and do the things which Hashem decrees that it should do. So that has to do with something with us as well, right?
Well, I'm confused.
Okay.
It says that we're created at Tselem Elokim. That's the beginning.
Right.
And it says, okay, so now let's talk about what that means. Let's talk about Elokim, because that's specifically an important word.
Good.
And what does that mean? That means the master of powers.
Good.
So to step back, we would say that means we're created as a masters of powers.
Okay.
Now, the next thing it does is it says, now let me make clear to you that we are nothing like
Right.
masters of powers.
Right.
Because masters of powers means creating something from nothing.
Right.
And,
Good.
and when you, if you take away your presence, the thing would dissolve, and we're not like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it just contradicted itself.
Okay, so you hear the question? So go give a good answer.
Okay, very simple. What were we saying? We created what in the,
B'Tselem Elokim.
which means,
Oh, we could say usually the image of
so what's an image?
similarity.
So when I look into the mirror, that's a Tsama of me, but it lacks a few things. So where an image is not, an image is just that. It lacks a few things. It might look like me, but it's two-dimensional. It's a mirror. So we're B'Tselem Hashem. We might be a little bit like Hashem, but we're not completely like Him. We lack a few things. Anyway.
Yeah, similar to
Good
Roy's using the mirror. I like using like a shadow, like just as a shadow. The shadow has its existence because of the source of the shadow, and in certain ways it resembles the source, but it's in no way similar to the source at all. Right? You have the shadow of the hand. Right?
Right.
So it's similar. It has 5 protrusions. It has a curve here and a curve there. So, but this is flesh and blood. That's just a darkness on a surface area. This is 3-dimensional. That's 1-dimensional, right? So, but yet there is some connection. There is some relationship between the two, undeniably. Right? Nevertheless, the comparison between the two is infinite. It is almost infinite.
Okay, but let me ask you this. You could give the same exact answer that you just gave if it said B'Tselem Shakai, or if it said B'Tselem Hashem.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if it used a different name of Hashem, you could give the same exact answer. What my question is specifically focusing on this name, because it's this name that this particular text is calling out and saying this name is B'dafka being used here. Why? Because it has to do with this Baal Kochos and the whole thing with the Kochos and then it says, but we're not like Hashem in the matter of Kochos.
Okay.
So how do you answer my question in a way that you wouldn't answer it the same way if it was
Right.
B'Tselem Shakai?
Okay. Roy's going to get good at this. You'll see why. He's going to get good at this.
All right then. If I was a king, for example, and I put on my crown and everything, and I'm going to stick with the mirror, and I look into the mirror, there's my image. So now but now I decide I'm going out. I'm going to have a meal, so I'm not going to wear my crown. So I'll take off my crown. I'll look in the mirror, and there's my image. So the different meanings, the different names, is what it's about. So if you're not saying it's in the B'Tselem of all the other names, I can't remember what they were. In the other name, but it's a B'Tselem of this particular name, and this particular name must have certain qualities about it. What those qualities are, I don't know, but they have certain qualities about them. Maybe it's a quality of completeness that the other names don't have. I don't know, I guess it's you.
So similar to what you're saying, the way the Sefer of Chaim started off, well, that the concept of Baal Kochos, that the HaKodesh Baruch Hu is the master of all forces, right? That constantly the forces of the physical universe are getting their power emanating from the influence of HaKodesh Baruch, right? So similarly, this is going to be the way that the chapter and following chapters are going to unfold. A person in not in a physical way, because that's basically your question. Physically, we're not the Balakoikas. Physically, a person built a table. We don't know who built this table. He's not around anymore, right? It's obviously here and standing and fulfilling its purpose long after the original creator had departed from the scene, right? We see all these structures throughout the pyramids, right? So how and ever they built them, those people are long gone, right? The London Bridge, we'll be seeing in a few months. We'll take a look and it'll say that it was erected in 1625. They even have the name of the person who did it, right? But he's long gone from the scene, right? And it's standing there long after its creator has passed to dust, right? So physically, that we don't compare. However, when it comes to spiritual accomplishments and spiritual